made myself an intro, but I still got funky angles and a bad microphone. Anyway, children, tonight we will be having a look at Peetz of My Mind's live stream titled Crazy in Live, published on or around about April 27th. It is a very abridged version, as per my last reaction to Peetz, and it is rather long, so let's get right the hell into this dumpster fire, shall we?
Chantel is not home. Chantel is on a date. Not sure if I was supposed to say that.
So say it again.
But, yeah, she's on a date. Ugly Hobo, thank you. Thoughts on Elon Musk owning Twitter? You can expect a lot more racism on Twitter coming up.
Dude, there will be a lot more open discourse and a lot more sharing of ideas and a lot more bridging of gaps coming up.
Thanks, Carl Sagan Spooner. I did shower.
Still love that name.
But yeah, take a look at how he's run. Hey, Icky. But yeah, if you take a look at how he's run Tesla, racism is rampant at Tesla. There's been a lot of black people who come forward to talk about the fact.
A handful of black people in one of the manufacturing plants came forward and put a class action lawsuit on Tesla Corporation, and currently it is on hold and under investigation.
That the corporate culture at Tesla is horribly racist, and you can bet that, I mean, that shit comes from the top down. Corporate culture comes from top down.
Do you expect Elon to be in all of his factories and all of his buildings and all of his holdings all at once to monitor every fucking thing that goes on?
So, Twitter is already a hotbed of racism, and
Twitter is a little teeny tiny bubble of happiness and hugging and joy and acceptance of weird, gross fetishes.
And I do not foresee any possibility at all of Elon Musk doing anything at all to improve that.
Says you.
Stella, yes, Twitter has always been racist. It's going to become more racist.
When, dude?
It's going to become
They have all those fucking people doing censorship and flagging accounts and making sure that absolutely nothing offensive is on there at any time. And as soon as it is, they take that shit down and they take that person's account away. Twitter is not racist. Twitter is fucking Gestapo.
much more just the corporate culture at Tesla. There's a lot of racism. Yeah, I mean, there's been a lawsuit about it. Still going on, I think.
It's on hold.
Apparently. Yeah, just give me 1 second here. So, this is just an article from the LA Times about, just talking a little bit about...
That article that he posted on the LA Times wants you to turn off your ad blocker. So I didn't read it. I found a couple of other ones and posted those in my description instead.
The culture of racism that's taken place at Tesla. So with Twitter buying, so with Elon Musk buying Twitter, it's going to become more toxic. It's going to become a much more toxic place.
I might get a Twitter account if it actually does open up to free speech.
Which is going to push a lot of people off the site. LA Times is a tabloid.
It might push all the freaks and weirdies and questionable individuals off the site.
Tabloid rag? Probably, but honestly, like, you can find your own article about it.
You know, he doesn't care to check the legitimacy of the news source. He's just like, oh, I read this news and it says the thing that I totally agree with and really, really want to be true. So it's true now.
But if you want. Like, I mean, there's...
Yeah, everybody do your research. Do your own research. Find your own resources. And, yep, he's right about that. Do your own fucking research.
There's plenty of articles about the lawsuits. Like, it's just a report on the lawsuit.
I found 2 different lawsuits, and I found that the LA Times, when I looked on Google, I found that the LA Times really, really likes to pick on Elon Musk really rather often. There was like 8 or 9 different articles, but they were all relating to the same 2 lawsuits. There was an elevator guy and some people at the factory, and again, that lawsuit is on hold while it is still pending investigation. I am sorry I live near an airfield.
About it. So, I mean, there's plenty of articles about that. You can use your own. Twitter can't possibly become more toxic. Oh, yes, it can. It absolutely can, and it will.
It'll become more open to discourse. That'll be pretty cool.
Do I think more weaknuts are going to surface back onto Twitter? Yeah. Yeah, there's going to be a lot more assholes coming back. And the other thing that pisses me off about Elon Musk buying Twitter, and I talked about this on Twitter, $44 billion? Are you fucking kidding me?
That's a whole mess of scratch.
He has $44 billion fucking dollars to spend on his fucking ego?
He could buy a whole fucking island nation for that kind of money.
That is an utterly obscene amount of money. It is an obscene amount of money. The sheer amount of...
I mean, to spend on one thing, yeah, that is an obscene amount of money. Me personally, I would have bought a whole fuck ton of farmland. You know, like Bill Gates is doing right now, driving up the fucking beef prices.
Good he could do with that money? He got help from other sources. He still spent $9 billion. Yeah, and like the amount of good, like $1 billion is beyond our comprehension.
Nah. I think really long and hard about all kinds of shit. $1 billion ain't beyond my comprehension.
Sheer amount of good that
44 is, yeah, but 1 billion, nah. I could think of a bunch of shit to do with that.
He could do.
Spend every fucking penny of it.
With that amount of money, and he spent it on that shitty fucking bird app. People only use like nobody even actually enjoys being on Twitter.
Then why are you on there every single day? All the minutes, all the seconds, just taking in all this crazy information that isn't even fucking true. Look at him laughing. He's laughing the same way he did when he said he wasn't bullied in school. It's a lie. It's a lie. He loves that fucking bird app, and he is fucking heartbroken that Elon done purchased it.
Weird thing. Nobody actually likes being on there.
Why are you there all the time?
It's better than any of the alternatives.
I like Minds, but I haven't been on there in a while because I don't really dig social media, generally speaking.
Social media. Just so much good that he could do, and he's chosen not to. I think the World Bank, like not to.
Dude, you don't know the kind of things that ultra-rich, elite motherfuckers consider good for the planet and not good for the planet. You just think about your own individual selfish ass needs.
Too long ago, he was talking about, if you can provide a plan for how I can use $5 billion to solve world hunger, I'll do it.
That is incorrect, my friend. I shall post some links in the description about that as well. Elon gave the World Economic Forum a couple of $1 billion, a few $1 billion, to solve the problem of world hunger, and I believe he put it toward Agenda 21. There will be links to that in the description as well. Anyway, Peetz is wrong, Peetz is lying, Peetz is dumb. Let's keep going.
The World Bank provided him, I think it was the World Bank.
See, he thinks it was the World Bank, but he don't fucking know. He's just pulling shit out of his ass to try and make Elon look bad, because Elon ruined his favorite fucking thing in the whole goddamn world.
Provided him a plan. No, James. What Elon did is...
Pointy, motherfucker.
And this is what I was just talking about. Elon said, hey, if you can provide me a plan for how to solve world hunger, I'll pay for it.
He paid for it. The World Economic Forum has done fuck all with that money yet. They probably just pocketed it at it.
He was provided a plan, and he just never fucking did anything.
Dude, he did. You are a lie.
He didn't bother.
Go eat Chantal's pie.
Used all like, here's how you can use your money to solve world hunger, and he just never fucking replied to it.
Dude, he did. You are a lie.
I'm not gay.
But you're trans.
Great. I wish I could tell Elon. Fucking help people.
He is, man. He is. He is making a big giant move in the information war that you have no idea is going on because you are too busy reading remedial X-Men comics written by weirdos that want to ruin franchises.
Like I mentioned on Twitter, that like Elon Musk could probably fund like every single healthcare related GoFundMe. Like he could just go on there and fund them all.
That doesn't mean that those people are good people just because they have a healthcare GoFundMe. What if they're horrible, horrible people that actually deserve the horrible things that are happening to them that they need GoFundMes for?
Just like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I can be just like him when he was insulting Jared Fogle.
Whatever. Oh, you need surgery? Here, I'll pay for your surgery. Whatever. Yeah.
Helping individuals does not help the world, man.
Like the fact that he could just...
You can give a man a fish and he will eat for a day. You could teach a motherfucker to fish and he will overfish the fucking Pacific.
He could do so much good and he chooses not to. That's the thing about all billionaires. And this is like, it's not unique to Elon Musk. Every billionaire is like this. They could...
You don't know what the fuck every billionaire is like. You don't know what they do in their spare time. You don't know what they do anonymously. You don't know what kind of anonymous holdings these motherfuckers have. You don't know what kind of shadow corporations they own.
Do just an absolute miracle amount of good.
And what the fuck do you think the Bill and Melinda Gates is supposed to be for? I mean, like, some people will say that it is not a very good thing, but other people's claim that it is for helping small children in third world countries escape poverty and abuse.
It could save so many lives. They make the conscious decision not to.
You don't know what people think, man. You don't know what is in the hearts and minds of people.
Choose not to help people. It's a conscious decision. Why is Elon Musk obliged to update us on his money?
He is not obliged to help anybody.
With great power comes there must also come great responsibility. This
is not a Spider-Man comic, my friend. This is real fucking life. This is not a fucking dress rehearsal.
This ain't fucking complicated. Like,
it is not a comic book.
Like, honestly, like, oh, why should Elon Musk spend his money to help people? Because helping people is a good moral thing to do.
Yes, Peetz, helping people is a good moral thing to do, and you don't need money to do it.
Ooh, you don't do it? I also don't have $1 billion fucking dollars, dude!
You don't need $1 billion to do it. You could go volunteer your time at soup kitchens, at homeless shelters. You could go do outreach work on the streets individually. You don't have to go and volunteer at the shelter and be around other people. You could just do it individually. There's all kinds of things you can do and not spend a single fucking penny. You got all the fucking time in the world, Peetz, and you do nothing.
I'm fucking broke. Sure, yeah, I should do more to help people. I'll admit that. But I'm not a fucking billionaire. It's just, well...
You ain't gotta be Bruce Wayne to be a fucking philanthropist, man. You can just go the fuck out and do shit.
Why don't you spend $1 billion to help people? Like, what the fuck? Guys, come on. Fuck off. You can't force them to do something? Yeah, and the fact that he intentionally chooses to be...
He could go the fuck outside and pick up trash, just like voluntarily, and have his area or his neighborhood nice and clean, and that would be a wonderful thing for society.
A selfish prick.
It would be a very communist thing to do.
Why am I in your recommended? I don't know. Stony Stank, I'm not on welfare. Thoughts on the death penalty? I'm not a fan of it.
Not a fan of it, but he still wished a horrible disease on Jared Fogle. Regardless of what the man did, he should have just said, oh, I hope that he gets the justice he deserves, and then left it at that.
Why do I only go live when Chantel's? It's not only when she's out.
He goes live when she's sleeping, when she's too high to go live, when she's talking to Nadir, when she's too busy making a fool of herself, trying to hook up with some other dudes. Yep, that's when he goes live.
I sometimes go live while she's here as well. But I agree that freedom of speech is the ultimate human right.
He agrees, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the most important. Bear in mind, free speech just means that the government can't arrest you for your speech. And even then, there are exceptions. There's no free speech on websites. Like, what?
Freedom of speech means that you can say what is on your mind and give your opinion up until it is detrimental or harmful or violent toward another person or group of people.
Websites are private. They're not owned by the government. So they can have whatever rules in place that they want. So
he is correct here. He is correct here. But Twitter is a very, very, very large social platform, and having it open to free speech, open discourse, and free information sharing would be a wonderful, wonderful thing for the entire planet.
Like the whole, we have to protect free speech on Twitter. No, you don't.
No, you don't have to protect free speech on Twitter. You have to protect the bronies and the weird little fetish people.
And getting 42%. Yeah, that's concerning. A lot of nuts, a lot of fascists in France.
You don't know what the fuck the word means.
Fascists all over the world right now, really. Which is a shame. Canadians don't have free speech. We do. We do have hate speech laws, but we have free speech.
You have some really, really, really strict hate speech laws.
Is punching Nazis based? Punching Nazis is a good thing.
Violence is never a good thing, children. Violence is never a good thing. You could just talk that shit out, find out why that kid identifies as a Nazi, try and open his mind, and maybe you could change it. You don't gotta punch people all the time.
Last time I did it.
You don't even have to use profanity all the time. I just like to.
Anything or got physical? I don't remember. Upcoming Ontario election?
Oh, he don't remember because it was with Chantal and he was probably blitzed or something.
I'll try to. Get some sun.
He'll try to. He'll try to vote.
No. I still never actually updated my address with my ID.
So how the fuck are you gonna vote if you don't have an updated address, my friend?
Yeah, I need to update my ID. Like, since I moved into this house. 2 years I've been living here, and I never updated my provincial ID.
That's really irresponsible and lazy, Peetz. You should do that.
The address on my provincial ID.
You should get up off your fat fucking lazy ass and do that.
By saying the N-word more, we take away its power? No. I do not think that, no. Yeah,
I do. I think that the more you use a word and the more the more you decide to take away its power, the more that shit works. My favorite science fiction author once said, "He who controls the meaning of words controls reality." So yes, words have power, and you as an individual using those words can choose to change the meaning and take or give away the power.
I really need to get down to a Service Ontario office to
Yeah, he's probably getting chastised in the chat for being a lazy piece of shit and not changing his ID, because it's really fucking simple. All you gotta do is stand in line, sign a couple of things, and get your fucking picture taken.
update my ID. Can we also pick our adjectives? Sure, why not? Right? I didn't get
My adjective is bombastic.
fired. I quit. I resigned from my last job because I just couldn't handle telling customers no all the time.
He couldn't handle customers, period. He couldn't handle working. He likes to sit at home and sponge off of his creepy, mukbanging circus freak roommate Chantal.
Well, I put one on my ID? Not yet. Do I like drag queens? I mean, it's not something that I pay much attention to, frankly.
But you're trans. So, like, what even do you know about being feminine?
What is this chat about? I don't even fucking know anymore, Uno. I'm a coward. I'm a coward and a weakling. Jeez.
Yes, you are, my friend. Yes, you are.
People asking who I'd fight. Pfft, you people know nothing about me. Like to do.
I know plenty about you. I know plenty about you. I know that you are lazy and wasteful and willfully ignorant and so hung up on Twitter that you're willing to make up crazy ass lies about what Elon does and does not do with his fucking money?
Do a workout? No. Kind of woman what I want to be? I don't know yet. Rave?
Doesn't know what kind of woman he wants to be.
Yes, I am lazy.
Because the only women in his life are his mom and Chantal Marie. And I don't know about his mom, but Chantal's not a very good example as a woman.
I will get around to it. Am I still looking for a job?
Neither am I, though. So,
Not lately. I'm gonna...
not looking for a job because he's super comfortable being cucked by Chantal.
I am gonna shave. How's everything get on? It's fine. Takes 2 seconds. I mean, I should get a clipper, but...
He doesn't have any kind of dysmorphia about his beard. He actually just sits there and strokes it periodically like he's soothing himself.
I use a manual, like I use just like a razor. How are you a trans girl and you can't even code? I've ever been with a girl who's not
How are you a trans girl and you got that big old beard?
white. No. No, I just haven't, just never come up. Like, it's not something where, like, I'm intentionally looking for white girls.
It's because he's only ever been with Chantal.
Did I idolize Christian Bale in American Psycho? No. Black
That's a good movie. Christian Bale's a really good fucking actor.
Canadians make up 6.6% of the population of Ottawa. Huh. I was unaware of that. Gimpy? Alright, so I explained this in a previous stream. So I'm going to answer this question. This is just my opinion, so everybody shut the fuck up about your opinions. Why
Yeah, he don't care about you. He's just gonna spout his bullshit.
do I think that it is transphobic to not want to date a trans woman? The reason that I think that outright refusing to date a trans woman or a trans person is transphobic, I mean, it is. Like, you're ruling out an entire group of people to dance.
To dance. Every time I go through this part, I'm like picturing him in a little ballerina tutu with the toe shoes on and being the little slickest girl on the stage.
To date. When you're outright refusing to date an entire group of people based on them belonging to that group, that is prejudiced. It is a prejudiced thing to do. And it's one of those things where...
No, that's a preferential thing to do. Because you either like a certain form of sexual activity or you don't.
Where I'm not going to say that someone is a bad person for not being comfortable dating a trans person. It is fair to be uncomfortable with it. It's prejudiced, but prejudice is hard to get over. Now, somebody being proud of the fact that they're not going to date trans people, that's being transphobic because you are straight up rejecting that entire group of people.
It's not dating someone and having a meaningful friendship with them are two very different things. And just because you will not date a trans person does not mean you're not willing to have a meaningful friendship with a trans person or any other person from any gender, any race, or any religion for that matter. Peetz is a fucking idiot.
Sounds good. I mean, I wouldn't date a trans man either, but that's because I'm not attracted to men. The other thing is...
See, he's not attracted to men. He's a trans woman. He is not attracted to men.
If you're like, I wouldn't...
Doesn't like the penis.
Date a trans man because they're a woman, because I'm only attracted to men, then you are declaring trans people to not be the gender that they are.
If you prefer a certain form of intimacy and somebody is not able to provide it, then that is it, period. That is not being phobic. That is not being prejudiced. That is having preferences. That is a person seeking fulfillment in their life.
Danger, no. Trans men are men. But if you're saying, I wouldn't date a trans man because I only date men, then what you're saying is trans men aren't men. And that...
Trans men do not have the proper equipment.
That is a transphobic attitude to have. Is it Jess? Sure. I'm open to dating trans women, whether pre or post-op, regardless of where they are in their transition.
I really don't think Peetz understands the full extent of what confirmation surgery is and what it looks like when it is finished and healed. I really don't think he understands that.
Jess, not particularly. but I'm attracted to women. And again, I understand.
Okay, you're attracted to women, but in an earlier stream you said you would only be dating trans people, or that it would be realistic that you would only be dating trans people. So, if you're only attracted to women, you're going to be dating trans women. So, that means that that person is going to have equipment that does not necessarily align with the gender that you're attracted to. And now what's going to happen when you get intimate?
That
I suspect Peetz is not a sexual person, like, generally speaking.
dating a trans person is going.
I wouldn't be. If my only exposure to sexuality was Chantal, I would be completely turned off to the idea for the rest of my fucking life.
Going to be tough for a lot of people. Like, I get that. And I'm not saying that someone is bad for being uncomfortable with being sexually intimate with a trans person. It's a fair thing. We all have our prejudices.
He just wants to call people asshole because he likes calling people asshole.
Like, I'll admit, I've got an absolute ableist side to me. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of disabilities where I would be uncomfortable dating a woman who had one of those disabilities.
As a representative of the dyslexic community, I wouldn't want to fucking date you.
Being proud of not being willing to date a trans person
I'm proud I wouldn't be willing to fucking date you.
is transphobic. Like, there's just no getting around the fact that if you are proud that you refuse to date a trans person, then you are transphobic. Because being proud of rejecting trans people,
Again, he goes from dating to outright rejecting all of them, and those are two fucking different things.
dick. You're just a douche. No.
See, he just wanted to call people names.
What I'm saying is that you're a shitty person if you're rejecting trans people.
And both of those things go inside of women's anatomy.
If you're proud of hating trans people. And again, like, I'm not saying if it's just a hang-up that you can't get over, that shit happens. You know, we all have hang-ups.
Yeah, you got a whole lot of hang-ups, Peetz.
James, no, it's not a hate crime to not date a trans person. That's concerned only at.
Then what the fuck are you getting at? If it's transphobic, then in where you live, that is a hate crime.
Actually exist? Oh, it absolutely does. My ex is getting their tits cut off next month. They're non-binary, but hate having tits. Do you think the butchy non-binary types are fetishized by cis het bros more than queer types? I don't know, but I would say probably.
He doesn't know. I don't understand what this person was saying, and top surgery is really scary, so let's move on.
Sapper, it's not, because that's the same as like I don't want kids. So if a woman wants kids, she shouldn't date me.
Nobody should date you, Peetz.
If people have different
Honey, you can't go outside yet. I got stuff to do. We'll go outside after this.
plans, then it's like, if you want biological kids, then you're gonna have to date someone who can give you biological kids. Excuse my ignorance, but can trans women have kids now?
Or you could hire a surrogate mother from Ukraine. I mean, not right now because obvious reasons, but they have a thriving surrogate mother program in Ukraine that is very, very inexpensive. All you have to do is go there and provide the biological material and pay the surrogate mother, and the groups and the medical groups will take care of all of the needs of the surrogate mother. You go the heck back home, you come back in 9 months, you pick up your baby. It's a very, very thriving business. I will post links to an article I read about it just the other day.
Well, no. I mean, a trans woman is not capable of carrying a child.
So what makes them a woman?
On a side note, trans men can have kids and assign female at birth.
It depends on where you are in your confirmation. If you are on replacement hormones, it is really, really ill-advised to carry a pregnancy to term, because you run the risk of a great many birth defects, and mortality is very high for the parent and the child. So it's very, very ill advised. Any healthcare provider that is providing a person with replacement hormones will inform them that they need to use contraception and be extremely, extremely responsible with their reproductive systems.
Binary people can have children, so
Most non-binary people really prefer not to breed
why can't trans women carry a baby? Because they don't have a uterus?
because they are not actually fully women.
There are cis women who can't have kids either.
Yeah, pick on the cis women that can't have kids, you insensitive piece of shit.
So, like, if we're using can they have kids as... No, James. No, there's... As far as I'm aware, there's no uterus transplant surgery available.
They're working on it.
Cis is a scientific term, you fucking dumbass.
Yeah, and the fat acceptance community thinks that obese is a derogatory term. So scientific terms can be derogatory. Moron used to be a scientific term. Retard used to be a scientific term. Those things are now considered derogatory, my friend. Words have power, and you can change the power that they have.
What do I think about the fat pride movement? I'm for it.
Yeah, he's for laziness, gluttony, obesity, heart disease, diabetes, and extreme waste, and, contributing to global warming.
Anyway, I was asked my opinion. I gave my opinion.
And your opinion is shit.
So, all of you trying to get pissed off at me for my opinion, feel free to fuck off and stop watching me, you transphobic dickwads.
Yeah, come watch me instead. I'm pretty fucking cool.
It's a slur. That's not, you fucking dumbass.
It's a slur if you want to make it a fucking slur.
Heterophobia? Not a thing because heterosexuals are the majority and have all the...
This motherfucker never goes on Reddit, and what he's about to say is a really heterophobic thing to say.
power in society. But anyway.
You can't... There's no such thing as heterophobia because they have all the power and the money and the everything. They do not. You don't know. There's all kinds of poor people that are absolutely straight as a fucking arrow, that control nothing, own nothing, and are kind of like you too.
Like I said, it's not something that I'm actually interested in arguing about, so if you disagree with me, guess what? I don't actually fucking care.
Because it doesn't matter to him, because as long as you're watching him, he'll get the ad revenue, and he'll get the engagement, and he'll get the super chats. So what the fuck ever, you're just feeding into this creepy monster guy.
Feel free to go away and watch somebody else. To know who made me next for next one. Self-described. But I have read a lot of X-Men comics.
I've probably read more X-Men comics than you, and I haven't fucking read them since the early 90s. Actually, no, I'm lying. It was 2000s.
Doctor Strange now banned in Saudi Arabia due to LGBTQ claims. What do I think about that? Yeah, I read about that. And
X-Men Extreme.
Whatever.
I don't care about Saudi Arabia. It doesn't fucking affect me.
And apparently it's not actually banned yet. They're still, Saudi Arabia is still trying to...
I'm not gonna go look up this article. This is, the dumbest fucking thing to argue about.
Still trying to convince Marvel to cut the 12 seconds. Which Marvel is no. I don't know.
If Marvel wants any fucking money, they'll do what they fucking have to do.
I mean...
They're owned by Disney, and Disney's willing to cut up all kinds of movies to make China happy and get their coin.
Here's the thing. Banning a movie is kinda the least of Saudi Arabia's sins.
What the fuck do you even know about Saudi Arabia?
James, right? I mean, I spent I did spend most of my life as a cis man, and yes, it was a lot easier.
It's a lot easier because you lived off your mom for 35 years and then you moved in with Chantal and you live off of her while she mukbangs and is a circus sideshow freak for money. So, yeah, it's been pretty easy for you as a cis man so far. You lazy, do nothing, nobody.
Any Marvel characters validating my sexuality? Well, good for you. A lot of people do like seeing themselves reflected in fiction.
I really don't. I really, really don't. And a lot of times I find myself really, really identifying with some really unique characters that are nothing like me in real life. Like, I fucking love the living shit out of some Cyborg, man. Me and Cyborg, deep down, I feel everything about the way he feels about his dad.
Whatever, cosplay is one of the X-Men characters. Probably not. I'm kind of just too lazy to do cosplay. Too cheap and lazy. I'd need to either make or buy a costume, and that's just pain in the ass.
It's not. It's not. Making costumes is so easy, and buying them is even easier. All you have to do is know your measurements and go the fuck on AliExpress.
Thoughts on the police? Fuck them. Would I like to?
Yeah, fuck the police until you get mugged or until somebody breaks into your house and puts a gun to your head. Then you're gonna be crying because the police don't come.
Cosplay as Ms. Marvel.
Ew. Isn't that the one that Brie Larson played and she got that flat butt and didn't fill out the costume good enough?
Disabled people have more productive lives than mine. Yep.
Yes, Peetz, disabled people have more productive lives than you. Ricky Berwick got a more productive life than you.
Didn't get a cat called Gigi. I'll probably never name a cat Gigi.
You better never get a fucking other cat ever again as long as you live. Judging by the way you treat Chantal's cats and you treated that cat that you just put down. You better not get another pet as long as you live.
Why don't I get welfare? Because I never applied.
Because it's too lazy and because it's easier to live off of Chantal Marie handouts.
I've never applied for welfare or disability or anything. Did I accomplish anything today? I woke up. Oh, I took a shower. That's what I accomplished today.
I find that kind of questionable judging by your hair and the shininess of your goddamn forehead, dude.
Took a shower. And I came on here. Such a fulfilling life. I know. Do I
Yeah, aren't you fucking proud of yourself, you fucking creep?
like to be around people? Nope. Yeah, I'm really not comfortable being around people. Seem to like a lot of things teens like. Yeah, those teens know what's what. Do I take anxiety medication?
I mean, I used to like Warrant when I was a teenager. People fucking make mistakes and they grow out of things. So, I don't know about you, my friend.
I don't. I should. I really should. Just didn't grow up. The medicine I was taking, it was Cipralex. Reactive.
Cipralex is for generalized anxiety, depression, and the treating of OCD disorder, among other things.
Cheyenne Jasmine? No.
And he should be taking it every single day without fail.
I don't give a shit about Cheyenne Jasmine.
He probably used to watch Cheyenne Jasmine until she started parodying him.
Thoughts on masturbation? It's a good time.
I'm sure you spend a lot of time having that good time, Peetz. I have my theories about the frequency with which you partake in happy alone times as is.
Religion is poison? I don't really agree with that. Like the idea that religion is poison, religion is the opiate of the masses, that sort of thing. I don't really agree with that, despite being an atheist.
I'm just gonna let him talk here.
I don't have a problem with organized religion. I think that there is a problem when people try to force their religion on others. That's my issue. When people try to sort of...
Yes, the destruction of culture is a really fucking terrible thing, and the Catholic and Christian faith are very, very guilty of this. And I find that fucking reprehensible about organized religion. But other than that, Peetz is kind of right.
Legislate their religion. I'm not agnostic. I mean, I sometimes call myself agnostic, but realistically, I'm an atheist.
He calls himself agnostic when he wants to fit in with other groups.
I just don't believe in God.
Look at him stroking his beard to soothe himself.
I mean, I'm a nihilist.
No, you're not, dude. You don't even know what the fuck that word means. I'm a fucking nihilist. You're just a little pansy that don't want to fucking do anything.
I don't believe that there's a point to anything. How would I describe my political ideology? Far left.
Uh-huh.
What about people that force their views on sexuality on others? Oh, you mean like homophobes?
No, I mean like people that want to allow single-digit age children to make the choice to go on life-altering medications and destroy their little bodies and never ever have a chance at a normal sex life or a normal life, generally speaking.
And transphobes? Those people? When you die, what do you believe happens to you? Nothing.
So, I mean, then what are you doing here if nothing happens to you when you die? What are you doing? You're just sitting here wasting your one chance?
You just cease to exist.
Yeah, you're wasting your one chance to live and experience life and enjoy something and make an impact.
Regardless, my point is that I have no issue with organized religion. I think that it's something that provides a lot of comfort and strength to a lot of people.
He probably prays sometimes.
And that's totally great. It's just once they start pushing their views on other people. Do I believe in God? Nope. Thoughts on Mormons? Their religion is
God doesn't believe on you.
kind of...
God doesn't believe in you, I mean.
Religion is kind of weird, but whatever.
You're kind of weird, Pete. Shut up.
Do I believe in? Nothing. Mormons are super nice. So I've heard. So I've got nothing against them. Julia Chantel is on a date.
Say it a third time.
Not sure if I'm supposed to say that, but whatever. What is more important, facing reality or living something that makes you feel good? I mean, I feel like, something that makes you feel good is probably more worthwhile. That's an answer.
See, that's the kind of person that Peetz is. He doesn't care about anything at all except for superficial pleasures, feeding his mouth and his little tummy and consuming his crappy little remedial X-Men comic books and his little shitty Disney movies and interacting in his little huggy echo box chamber. He don't care about nothing.
Anderson Cooper? He was always cool.
Oh my god, every time Bill puts an Anderson Cooper clip on TV, I have to make jokes about him needing to go to hell to acting school because he is so terrible at trying to convince everybody that he is outraged or in despair over anything. It just looks so fake.
He seems like a pretty cool guy. Some rich people give everything they have to charity when they die. Yeah, and most of them leave their money to their kids.
You don't know what most rich people do.
My thoughts on circumcision? My thought is I'm circumcised. So I'm kind of fine with it. Dean's right. I mean, it happened when I was a kid. How was I circumcised? I think just because probably it's easier to keep it clean that way, is my suspicion. No, I'm not Jewish. No, it was just like easier to keep it clean, I think, was probably why my parents did it.
Well, my goodness, that was a strong note to end on, wasn't it? Of course, Peetz doesn't have an opinion on circumcision because he has no idea what he's missing in life. I mean, I don't know either because I'm a girl. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. And if you did, please consider dropping a like and a subscribe. If you didn't, drop a dislike and tell me why you hated it. Tell me why you hated me in the comments. I'm always open to open criticism and some insults too. Anyway, have a good night and go do something fucking productive with your time.